Good morning everyone, and so we're going to take a fairly flat route today. We have been up in the hills before now and it wasn't very well received by some, so even though you get stunning views up there, but we'll have some nice views, I hope. Amir's slightly confused matters by saying we're going on the Pennine Way. It's not the Pennine Way, it's the Pennine Bridle path, which is not as high up as the Pennine Way. The Pennine Bridle path did have loads of lovely autumn colours, but unfortunately because of Storm Claudia, all the leaves have pretty much blown away, so it's more of a wintry walk today. But yes, we'll walk for an hour and a half or so, and hopefully it'll be a nice little stride out.
I'm Amir, and I'm from South Manchester Muslim Walking Group, and I'm also chair of West Pennine Local Medical Committee. As South Manchester Muslim Walking Group, we go walking every Saturday and every Sunday, and I've seen a lot of benefits for myself, my family, and those who come on the walks with us. But in my role within the local medical committee, I've also seen a lot of my colleagues under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, a lot of problems that they're dealing with in their practice, in their own personal lives and so on. And Jane, my liaison officer, who also goes regularly walking, suggested that it might be a good idea for us to go walking together occasionally. So once a quarter we go on a walk. So this is our third walk that we've been on. Just for those who are not aware of how the situation is at the moment, the Royal College of GPs has just done a survey of GPs, and unfortunately it's not a good read. Nearly a third of GPs are unlikely to be working in general practice in 5 years' time, according to this alarming poll that's just been published about 6 days ago. Stress was identified as the main factor forcing GPs to consider leaving the profession. It was cited by nearly half, 44% of respondents, thinking about cutting their careers short, whilst 39% plan to leave to retire. We manage a lot of common health issues amongst the general population, such as back pain, high cholesterol, diabetes and infections, as well as a wide range of physical, mental and emotional problems. But of course the challenges we face are often related as GPs and practice staff working within that environment due to the very high workload and stress that we're now facing as a result of some of these conditions. But also there's been an increase in the administrative burden and the emotional toll that this has taken in dealing with patients' serious illnesses and difficult circumstances. The wider NHS is struggling at the moment. Waiting times are going through the roof. People are having to wait sometimes 36, 48, sometimes even 72 hours in A&E departments. In fact, it's not even A&E departments, but often it can be on corridors and things. And if you or your loved one is one of those people experiencing it, it's not easy. Some of the challenges that GPs are facing are, as I've explained, the very, very high workload that we're having, with many of us having to work long hours with that extreme administrative burden. The emotional burden that comes with that, dealing with patients who've got serious illnesses, difficult personal circumstances we might have, or experiencing patient loss, can be very, very draining for us. There's an explosion of knowledge that's out there, and things seem to be changing on a weekly basis, almost sometimes even on a daily basis, and trying to keep on top of that also adds to the stress. And then of course there's some of the systemic problems with colleagues leaving, reducing their hours, more and more other staff coming in who are supposed to be trying to help us, but often we end up having to supervise them as well as the work that we're doing. And then of course the demand that's coming from government changes that haven't always thought through what the impact might be on not just patients but staff themselves. Walking offers us healthcare professionals and staff and everyone else huge benefits, including improving our cardiovascular and joint health, mental health benefits such as the stress reduction, mood enhancement, and also improve cognitive function in our thinking. When you're out and about and on walks like this, you have an opportunity to talk to colleagues, talk to friends and family, and maybe think about some of the things that we're dealing with, and helps us to think about alternative ways of doing things that actually helps to boost our energy, improve our mood, maybe perhaps reduce some of the back pain and stresses that we're feeling. So some of the benefits of the physical benefits of walking are improving cardiovascular health, strengthening our muscles and joints, boosting our immune system so we're less likely to get coughs and colds and flu and things, increasing our energy, and perhaps also helping us to manage weight, although that also depends on what you're eating and what other things you're doing besides walking. In terms of mental health and benefits, it reduces stress and anxiety, improves our mood and perhaps combats depression, enhances our cognitive function, the way we are thinking about things, boosts our creativity and increases confidence. And finally, it also helps with sleep, it promotes social interaction and connection with one another, and ultimately helps to improve our resilience. I would really encourage you, my colleagues, their families and friends to come on walks with us and enjoy the beautiful countryside around us, and hopefully help to support one another and help the NHS. Thank you very much.